Alright everyone, I got another episode here for you. And here I want to show you just another little thing about the kind of ways that I'm going to be mixing the game up. Now this is going to be a rather linear game, and one where the storyline for the most part is just a straightforward progression through it. But there are going to be some examples here and there of things that will be happening in the game where you as a player are going to be able to influence the outcome. Now, these aren't going to be plot critical things, and oftentimes things that I think you probably would be able to play through the game and not even notice. Just little things that I felt like implementing. So I'm going to show you one. Now here we are in the middle of a forest. This appears about, let's say this part of the game will appear about halfway through the game. And missing a couple of character graphics. There should be a character following our main character here. And I have a little bit of a shortcut flame here that will take us further along in the story. So I'm going to go and do that right now. And now I drop back in the middle of a town that I had shown you in the last episode. Now in this town there is a character up here who had sort of witnessed an event, and you can have a conversation with him. Let's do that real quick. Okay, that was quick. Now you can talk to him again and he'll say different things and all that kind of stuff. But that's not what I'm going at. Characters will progress through a line of conversations. You may have to talk to characters multiple times in order to get the full conversation, but that's not what I'm talking about here. I am going to restart this demo and do something different this time. Now here's a situation while we're back in the forest, and you run across a body off into the forest. You may not actually find this. It's a fairly open environment, and you don't necessarily need to come up into this point. But if you do come across this body, and this is going to be a little weird because there's a character who's supposed to be following you here that doesn't show up, so you're going to see dialogue from a character who's not present. But when you see this body and you go and interact with it, the character will note that there is a corpse there. Now you can, like before, go and do all that stuff, but again, I'm not talking about that. But now that we have interacted with that body, the character of Ansel knows that that body is there. So when we later on in the game end up in the town of Norberg, and you run into this guy, the guy who was burying the bodies that he was referring to earlier. Ansel brings the fact that he had seen that body off in the woods up. And Anton goes and says that he plans on burying him too. Now, later on in the game, when you return to that area, the body will be gone. If Anton is aware that that character is dead, Anton will go out there and retrieve that body. Now, once we get back to this position and that body has been found, that body has been buried, you then have access to this hut. And Ansel will have a conversation with a character who's not following him right now. Reference the fact that he found the body. And we can have access, and there's another corpse in there. I don't have any dialogue set up for when you encounter him. Oh, maybe I did. I forgot I put that in there. His body rotated when you interacted with him. I gotta stop that. But anyway, you'd be able to find an item in this thing, which is a little secret. So in the event that you checked out the body, and you talked to the character in Norberg, then you have access to this hut. If not, it would remain locked. Ansel wouldn't break down the door, and you wouldn't have access to whatever it is I'm going to have you be able to find in here. Not much, just a little thing that I am doing to break up the straightforward run through this game. This system, provided I have the various environments already set up, dialogue and all that kind of stuff, really took about half an hour of setup. So it's not something that I have a big problem with implementing in a number of different positions throughout the game. So there we go. Thanks for watching. Concludes another episode of my development diary.